Hello, dear friend. Welcome back to English Talks with Avie. Relax, listen, and improve your English.
Hello, my friend. It is so good to have you here again. Today, we have a story about something that we all face: rejection. Sometimes, when we want something very badly, a rejection can feel like a heavy stone in our pocket. But what if that stone is actually a seed? Today's story is about Sara. She is a dreamer, just like us. She shows us that the distance between our dreams and our reality is where the magic happens. Let's relax and follow Sara on her journey. The air inside the small coffee shop was warm and smelled like toasted beans and sweet cinnamon. Sara sat by the window, her laptop open in front of her. Outside, the city of Chicago was moving very fast. People in heavy coats walked quickly past the glass, their breath making small clouds in the cold morning air. Sara didn't notice the cold. Her heart was beating fast because of what was on her screen. It was a job advertisement. The ink and paper publishing company was looking for an assistant editor. Sara had always loved books since she was a little girl. She loved the way a new book smelled when you opened it for the first time. She loved the feel of the thick, cream-colored pages. To Sara, books were not just paper and ink. They were friends. They were worlds. And working at ink and paper publishing company was her biggest dream. It was a small company that made beautiful books for children. She spent the whole morning working on her resume. She checked every word. She made sure her sentences were perfect. She wrote a cover letter that explained how much she loved their stories. When she finally clicked the send button, she felt the feeling of hope. She closed her eyes and imagined herself walking into the office with a cup of coffee, ready to read new stories all day. 2 weeks later, the email arrived. Sara was in her kitchen, making a piece of toast. She saw the notification on her phone, and her hands started to shake. She put the toast down and opened the email. Dear Sara, thank you for your interest in the position. We were impressed with your passion. However, we have decided to move forward with another candidate at this time. The kitchen felt very quiet. The sound of the refrigerator seemed louder than usual. Sara sat down at her small wooden table. She felt a cold, empty feeling in her stomach. She had worked so hard. She had dreamed so much. But the answer was no. She looked at the email again. Another candidate. She wondered who they were. Were they smarter? Did they have more experience? She felt like she wasn't good enough. For the rest of the day, the world felt a little bit gray. But as the sun began to set, Sara took a long walk. She watched the orange light hit the tall buildings. She thought about her favorite books. In every story, the hero faces a problem. If the hero gives up on page 50, there will be no ending for the story. Sara decided that she was only on page 50 of her own life. 6 months passed. Sara worked at a local grocery store to pay her rent. It was not her dream job, but she tried to find joy in it. She liked the way the apples looked when she stacked them in neat rows. She liked saying hello to the regular customers. But every night when she came home, she spent 2 hours with her books. She began to volunteer at the city library on weekends. She didn't get paid, but she didn't mind. She spent her Saturday mornings organizing the children's section. She felt the rough edges of the old books and the smooth covers of the new ones. She started a small blog where she wrote reviews of the books she read. She wasn't doing it to get a job. She was doing it because it made her feel alive. One afternoon at the library, an old woman asked her for a recommendation. The woman wanted a book for her grandson who didn't like to read. Sara spent 20 minutes talking to the woman. She asked about the boy's hobbies. She found a book about a boy who builds a robot. "You have a gift, dear," the woman said. "You know how to find the heart of a story." Those words stayed with Sara. She realized that in the last 6 months, she had learned more about books than she ever had in college. She understood what people liked. She understood how stories could help people. She was growing, slowly and quietly, like a tree in the woods. In October, she saw the advertisement again. The ink and paper company was hiring. Her heart gave a small jump. She felt nervous, but the nervousness felt different this time. It felt like excitement. She updated her resume. This time, she added her volunteer work at the library. She added her book blog. She wrote a new cover letter. She didn't just talk about her passion. She talked about the people she met at the library. She talked about what she had learned about the children's book market. She hit the send button. A week later, her phone rang while she was at the grocery store. She stepped into the back room, near the large boxes of oranges. "Hello, Sara? This is Mr. Miller from Ink and Paper. We would like to invite you for an interview." Sara leaned against the wall. The cool air of the back room felt good on her face. Sara replied quickly, "Thank you, Mr. Miller. I would love to come." The day of the interview was a rainy Tuesday. Sara wore her best professional dress and carried a black umbrella. She walked into the office. It looked exactly how she had imagined. There were bookshelves everywhere. The air smelled like paper and expensive tea. She sat across from Mr. Miller. He was an older man with kind eyes and silver hair. He looked at her resume and then looked at her. "You applied before, didn't you, Sara?" he asked. "Yes," Sara said. She didn't look down. She kept her voice steady. "6 months ago." "I remember your name," Mr. Miller said. "Tell me, what have you been doing since then?" Sara talked about the library. She talked about the children who finally found a book they loved. She talked about how she learned to see what makes a story special. She didn't sound like someone who was trying to impress a boss. She sounded like someone who truly loved her work. Mr. Miller listened carefully. He nodded several times, but at the end of the interview, he said, "We have many talented people applying, Sara. We will let you know by Friday." Friday came. Sara stayed near her phone all day. Every time it made a sound, she jumped. But the call never came. At 5 p.m., she received an email. It was another rejection. They had chosen a candidate with 5 years of experience in New York. Sara sat on her bed and let the phone fall onto the blanket. This time, she didn't feel like a gray cloud. She felt angry. She felt like it was unfair. She had done everything right. She had grown. She had worked hard. Why wasn't it enough? She cried a little bit that night. It is okay to cry when things are hard. She let the tears fall, and then she washed her face with cold water. She looked in the mirror. Her eyes were red, but her face looked stronger than it did 6 months ago. "I am still a storyteller," she whispered to herself, with or without that job. The next few months were the hardest. It is easy to be brave the first time. It is harder to be brave after you have been rejected twice. But Sara didn't stop. She took an online class about digital editing. She learned how to use professional software. She started helping a local author fix the grammar in his new book. She was becoming a professional even if nobody was paying her a salary yet. She realized that her happiness didn't depend on a company or a title. She was already doing the work she loved. She was already an editor in her heart. Spring has arrived. The snow melted, and small green leaves began to appear on the trees. One morning, Sara was sitting in the park. She was reading a manuscript for the local author. Her phone buzzed. It was an email from Mr. Miller. Sara's heart stopped for a second. She hadn't even applied for a job this time. "Dear Sara," the email said, "our new assistant editor has moved to a different city. We need someone who understands our mission. I have been following your blog for the last 3 months. I am very impressed by your progress and your eye for detail. Would you like to come in tomorrow morning? I don't want to interview you. I want to offer you the position." Sara read the email 3 times. She looked at the trees. She looked at the people walking their dogs. The world felt bright and sharp. She didn't jump up and down. She didn't scream. Instead, she took a very deep breath. She felt a deep, quiet sense of peace. She realized that if she had gotten the job the first time, she wouldn't have been ready. She wouldn't have known the children at the library. She wouldn't have started her blog. She wouldn't have the skills she has now. The 2 rejections were not failures. They were teachers. They had pushed her to become the best version of herself. The next morning, Sara walked through the glass doors of the ink and paper company. She didn't feel like a nervous candidate anymore. She felt like she belonged there. Mr. Miller was waiting for her with a smile. "Welcome to the team, Sara," he said. He handed her a blue mug with the company logo on it. "We are very happy you didn't give up on us." "I didn't give up on myself," Sara said softly. She sat down at her new desk. It was near a window. She could see the city she loved. She picked up a red pen and a stack of papers. She began to read. As she worked, she thought about all the people who might be receiving a rejection today. She wished she could tell them her story. She wished she could tell them that a rejection only means it is not time yet. She realized that the most important thing she learned wasn't about editing or books. It was about her own strength. She had learned that she could face disappointments and keep going. She had learned that she was worth the effort. Sara's story reminds us that life is not a race. We all have our own timing. Sometimes we need to grow a little more before we can reach the destination we want. And growth is never a waste of time. It is the most important part of the journey. When you look at a beautiful flower, you don't think about the weeks it spent under the dark soil. You only see the bloom. But the flower knows. The flower knows that the time in the dark was when it grew its roots. Without the roots, the flower could not stand in the wind. Sara had grown her own roots, and now it was her time to bloom. Sara's journey shows us that trying again is not just doing the same thing over and over. It is about becoming better each time we try. You are growing too. Every time you listen to a story, every time you practice a new word, you are building your roots. Have you ever had to try more than once for something you really wanted? How did you feel during the time you were trying? We would love to hear your stories in the comments. Please like and share this story if it touched your heart today. I am so proud of the progress you are making. See you in the next story.
Thank you for listening. Subscribe for more English Talks with Avie. You can explore more videos here. Thanks.